What's up? It's your boy Trey J Creates. Let me take y'all back to 2013. Comedy's still running wild. Cancer culture ain't quite canceled everybody yet. And in the parking lot of the Comedy Store in Los Angeles, comedians were about to throw hands, two of them. I mean, they're cussing, they're shouting, they're ready to fight over this damn open mic slot or some petty beef they got between them. And who's there watching it? All of us go down? Brian motherfucking Moses. Roast. The two comics that started this fight out there in the parking lot are rumored, from what I've researched, and I'm talking about real quick research. I don't know.
One night at the Comedy Store, two guys want to fight each other. Beat the shit out of each other. We said, hey, settle with comedy. You guys get on stage, write some jokes, we'll score it like a boxing match.
Josh Martin, a loud, hot-headed comic who worked on the door at the Comedy Store, and supposedly Kenny Lyon, another raw up-and-comer at the time who wasn't afraid to talk trash because he'd be rolling like a lion because his name Kenny Lyon. These dudes were verbally going at it at the Comedy Store parking lot, like WWE in its prime, like the Attitude Era, or, I don't know, UFC, Conor McGregor timeline. But people started gathering like it was a high school fight in the parking lot, and that's when Brian Moses, the motherfucking Brian Moses, ran a small show called Verbal Violence, and just saw an opportunity, and he went there, and this is my Brian Moses impression. Yo, my brothers, come on. Instead of y'all two fighting, why don't we take this to the mic, make it funny? Let's roast each other. That's right. Brian Moses impression. It's funny, right? Let's monetize this shit. First unofficial roast battle is now taking place, and there's no rules, no judges, no ego. Well, no, just ego, pride, and punchlines. Now Moses, he didn't just leave it at one battle, right? He saw the potential. This was just a fight. This was a comedy sport showdown. He started hosting it weekly underground event in the Belly Room at the legendary Comedy Store. Late at night, packed with comics, degenerates, drunks, and legends, he held these battles. Comes the man himself, Jeff Ross. He gets a glimpse of it. He had Comedy Central clout and decades of roast history, roasting Trump to Justin Bieber, Pam Anderson. Jeff saw these battles and he was like, Moses, this is the future. We need to film it. And boom, Roast Battle became a series on Comedy Central in 2016 with Moses as the host and Ross as the face of it. They brought guest judges, Kevin Hart, David Spade, Sarah Silverman, even Snoop Dogg. It was raw and filtered and dangerously funny and fresh, new. The show ran for 3 seasons, and it gave birth to careers like Lawrence, Matt Egger, Frank Castillo. Great comics came through this. Tony Hinchcliffe got some bumps on it. Jimmy Carr, Robin Tran also started, and then Jamal Neighbors. He was part of the wave, along with Jeremiah. These dudes were the half-naked hype crew, and it was actually on Comedy Central with them being the wave. I mean, this format supposedly went to the UK, supposedly went to Mexico. I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying it might have. I can't. Don't hold me to that. It was caught like wildfire. It eventually cooled down, and Comedy Central cut back on original stand-up altogether. With that, they cut and ended the roast battle on Comedy Central after 3 seasons. But Moses decided to keep it lit. He brought it back to its underground roots. He kept it. And roast battles still happen live at the Comedy Store in New York clubs, and even on the road at different variety clubs throughout the country. It was down to its gritty, original roots, back to where it belonged, off executive hands. So yeah, that's how roast battle started. And from the two broke comics beefing in the parking lot to damn making a global comedy movement at some poetic shit, ain't it? And a couple of nobodies talking trash started a show that gave to the rise of the funniest nobodies in the game. Brian Moses saw the fire, and Jeff Ross gave it gasoline. The rest, burn egos and crowd cheers. But where did it go after this? This isn't the end. Yeah, most shows that get canceled, that's it. But not Roast Battle. Roast Battle now had to evolve. Once Comedy Central said peace to the Roast Battle, a lot of folks thought it was just a dope little moment in comedy history. But Brian Moses wasn't done. Matter of fact, he was just getting started with the shit, dog. See, that underground energy, that raw, let's sell this with jokes instead of fists mentality, that competition, competitor sportsmanship between guys with beer guts, that shit didn't deserve to be on network cable with executives, rich guys, and people that have say-so in it that has no idea what comedy was or what roasting was. They took that bitch off the TV and onto the internet. And out came the Roast Battle League. A new world, a new stage with the same fucking disrespect. The birth of the Roast Battle League. Brian and the crew launched the league style format on YouTube, and it was just raw battles. No censors, no execs, no breathing down their neck. Down national. You had city champions, you had ranks, you had matchups, you had storylines. The competitive shit was there, and anybody could knock you out your boots. Gave birth to great stars like DeHerm, Nasty Nate, Los Digits, all coming from the Los Angeles area. Crazy competitors, good up-and-coming comedians that were good. I mean, you could be a decent stand-up comedian, but kill at roasting. And that's what some of these fellas did, making a name for themselves. Tori from Chicago, I can't remember her last name. She's the lesbian girl, y'all know. She's killing. I don't think anybody's gonna be able to beat her. I mean, but it's just, these cats became stars of the league, but not TV stars, not corporate puppets. These are roast warriors. These are king shit talkers. It ain't just bar shows. Not anymore, dog. It's these battles, events, main events, championships, trash talk, hype reels, full on intros. It's like the fucking UFC, but with shit cardio. They even made it onto Netflix is a Jokes tour. That's right, Netflix is a joke, is a tour. They had a live show on that stage. Then it was like a big event where they had some of the MVPs go each other. They've done it a couple of times. Showed that big dogs that still had bite. Crowds packed, cameras were rolling, it just wasn't surviving. Down on the internet, the Roast Battle League was thriving. Let's talk about the RBL itself, the Roast Battle League. How does it work, and what is it? It's several cities in the United States. Every city has people that has, their local comedians, and they roast each other in scheduled events or matches. These matches give the points based on if they're the funniest ones in their league. So their teams in the United States are Los Angeles, New York, Chicago, Austin, Texas, Denver, the Bay Area, even Atlanta, I think Cleveland this year. And they have each city is its team. So they're roasting each other there, but they are rooting for each other as well. And then it went overseas into the international division. Manchester, London, Tokyo, Toronto, Sydney, Australia, Barcelona. All these are now part of the Roast Battle League International, where they will also come together every year to find a world champion. Now, every league needs a structure, some order, some dude to tell you your fat joke wasn't too right, That dude's name was Pat Barker. Pat Barker was the commissioner of the Roast Battle League, and he was the glue that held it together for years. Brian Moses, created it, and Jeff Ross was the face for it. But man, I'm telling you, Pat Barker was what kept the motor running. He was the oil in between the gears. He booked all these things. I'm sure a lot of it was his ideas. He was the one answering the calls. He was handling all the business. He was on every roast battle as a judge just about. And he just let it keep going. And he helped make it and mold it what it is. I became a fan of roast battle with Pat Barker. And it's a tragedy that he stepped away. But this is part of the video. I'm just telling you, Pat Barker, I'm giving you your due diligence, your credit. Man, your work did not go unnoticed. They are going to get another commissioner with you gone, but they are not getting another Pat Barker. You're one You did great, man. I'm a huge fan. Thank you. And it's like a sports season, prepping of comics to try something besides typical stand-up, and sometimes getting them ready for their Kill Tony debut. But it's off the cuff and raw, and most important, it's funny. Roast Battle's funny, and you can see them grow. All these comics grow with the Roast Battle League itself. Started as a fight in the parking lot, and now it's a league with cities and champions and teams and hype and fans and legends in the making. This just ain't a glow up. That's a damn resurrection, son. I mean, this Roast Battle League is going to be thriving. And what we'll do next? Will it be a streaming show on Netflix or something? Will it have bigger events? Will it make it to the Olympics? X Games? Roasting on the X Games? I don't know. But it's on live, and that's where it's going to be. It's going to thrive, it's going to grow, and it's doing great. So, whether it gets streaming 1 year or whether it never gets it off the internet, it is, without a doubt, something keeping comedy alive, keeping stand-up comedy fresh, and it's a fucking show. A very eventful show that turns bullying into a sport where both people are bullying each other, where it's a fair fight. As long as people have egos and microphones, Roast Battle ain't going nowhere. And the Roast Battle League is thriving and growing each year. Good job, Brian Moses. Make sure you check in Roast Battle several Roast Battle League YouTube channels. There's one for Los Angeles. There's one for the Bay Area. There's one for every city I mentioned, and there's a Roast Battle there. The Roast Battle Weekly is their weekly podcast. Make sure you check that out. That's usually where they show you the rankings and stuff. And give it some love, man. I mean, it's comedy. I watch it hand in hand with Kill Tony. I feel like they're sister shows, and they kind of are. Not, but they are. And you'll see people with this on both of them. So give us some love, give support, because it's another take on stand-up comedy, another format, something else in stand-up comedy instead of just, to keep it fresh. It's always great to see how they can make a guy telling jokes into something better and something different. Like, subscribe. I'm Trey J Creates. Let's create something together. That was gay.